A professor stood before his philosophy class and had some items in front of him. When the class began, wordlessly, he picked up an empty jar and proceeded to fill it with golf balls. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly. The pebbles rolled into the open areas between the golf balls. He then asked the students again if the jar was full. They agreed it was. So the professor then picked up dirt and poured it into the jar. Of course, the dirt filled up everything else. He asked once more if the jar was full. The students responded with a unanimous yes. The professor then produced tea from under the table and poured the entire contents into the jar, effectively filling the entire space between the sand. The students laughed. "Now," said the professor as the laughter subsided, "I want you to recognize that this jar represents life. The golf balls are the important things: family, children, health, friends, favorite passions. Things that if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, your car. The dirt is everything else, the small stuff. If you put the sand into the jar first," he continued, "there is no room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are important to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children, take time to get medical checkups, take your partner out to dinner, play another 18 holes. There will always be time to clean the house and fix the disposal. Take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities, the rest is just dirt."
I think that the number one cause of pain on a human's heart is lack of gratitude. I know that sounds odd and a bit far-fetched, but hear me out for a second. Most things in our lives come and go. A lot like a wave that stretches with the tide. We move, we make friends, we lose lovers, we pass through wonderful moments. For most of us, we associate loss as a sad and horrible thing. Once something we love has slipped through our fingers, we can't help but feel the empty hole in our lives where it once stood. Even when it's all said and done, and we are finally moved on from whatever we had lost that was so beautiful, we still feel it. But I have learned a truth, a small and beautiful truth that has made my heart rejoice in even the most disheartening of times. The truth that if we are sincerely grateful for the things that we love most in this life, when we lose them, we can still function, because we are simply grateful that we had them at all. It no longer becomes a question of why they had to go. It no longer becomes a fight to try and get them back. No, instead, it's a warm comfort, because those memories that you have, you will never have to give away. You see, gratitude saves a broken heart. Appreciate what you have, because then when or if you ever lose it, you will be content knowing that you were able to at least share the time with it that you did. And when you look back on your life and your hands drape across the fills and memories in your skin, you will stop and you will smile.